Ladies and gentlemen, there will be seasons in your life when it feels like nobody sees you. You'll wake up early, put in the work, sacrifice your sleep, your comfort. You're fun and it'll seem like the world doesn't care. You'll look around and wonder, is it even worth it? But listen to me, that's the price of greatness. That's the cost of building something that lasts. The truth is, the foundation of every skyscraper is buried deep underground, invisible to the eye. It's the same with your dreams. What you build in the dark is what determines how high you'll rise in the light. Most people quit when the applause doesn't come. They give up when recognition doesn't show up fast enough. But champions, real champions, keep grinding in the silence. They don't need validation. They don't need an audience. They know that consistency is their greatest ally. Every rep, every late night, every small victory that no one notices, that's where the future is being shaped. You see, it's not the big moments that make you. It's the little ones, the early mornings when no one's watching, the quiet nights when you could have given up but didn't. Success is not a show, it's a shadow. It follows those who move with persistence, not noise. So if nobody's noticing your efforts right now, good. That means you're still in the building phase. Keep laying bricks, keep showing up, because one day those same people who ignored your effort will applaud your results. When you choose to stay consistent in the invisible, you're sending a message to life itself. I'm serious about this. And life will respond. Doors will open. Opportunities will align. The invisible grind is your test. And if you pass it, the spotlight will find you. But remember, the spotlight doesn't make you. It reveals who you already became in the dark. Success doesn't start on the stage. It doesn't begin when people recognize your name or applaud your effort. Success begins in silence. In the moments when nobody's watching, nobody's clapping, and nobody's cheering you on. Those are the moments that define you. That's where character is built, where habits are formed, and where greatness is molded. Most people want the light, but they don't want the labor that comes before it. They want the celebration, but not the construction. But if you're serious about your dream, you must learn to be consistent when there's no noise, when there's no validation, when there's no one to say, keep going. You see, the world rewards the visible, but life honors the invisible. The process of greatness is lonely. It's quiet. It's unglamorous. There will be days when you wake up and wonder, why am I doing this? Because there's no sign of progress, no one to acknowledge your effort, and no proof that what you're doing will even work. But that's the test of faith, the test of resilience, the test of your belief in your purpose. Because the truth is, when you can work in silence and still give your best, you're not working for approval anymore. You're working for mastery. Think about it. The seed that becomes a mighty tree begins underground, unseen, unheard, and unnoticed. It pushes through the darkness before it ever touches the light. You can't see its roots growing, but that's where the real strength is built. That's what your invisible season is all about. You're not being ignored. You're being prepared. You're developing roots strong enough to hold the weight of your future success. Because if you rise too fast without foundation, you'll crumble just as quickly. So don't despise the silent seasons. Don't curse the times when nobody sees you. That's the time you should be sharpening your skills, strengthening your spirit, and mastering your craft. That's when you learn discipline, the kind that doesn't need motivation because it's fueled by vision. You might be building when no one's clapping, but trust me, one day the noise will come. One day the world will see the results of the quiet work you did in the dark. And when that moment comes, you won't just shine, you'll glow with purpose. Because success isn't about being seen, it's about being solid. When your foundation is right, your future can stand tall. So stay consistent even when it feels invisible. Stay faithful to the process even when nobody's noticing. Because what's invisible today will become undeniable tomorrow. Success begins in silence. That's where warriors are made, and that's where legends are born. What you do in private will one day be rewarded in public. You can't cheat the process, and you can't rush the reward. The universe has a strange way of paying attention to those who persist when nobody's paying attention to them. Every hour you spend practicing, every late night you give to your dream, every morning you wake up before the sun, it's being counted. It's all adding up. The reward might not come when you want it, but it's coming when you've earned it. People often want to skip the grind and go straight to the glory. They want to shine before they built their strength. But the truth is, you can't have public success without private sacrifice. The spotlight doesn't make you, it exposes you. And if you haven't been faithful in private, you'll fall apart in public. You see, success isn't a switch you turn on. It's a lifestyle you cultivate. It's the hours behind the scenes, the moments nobody knows about, the struggles you faced alone that shape who you become. When you're consistent in private, you're planting seeds that the world will eventually see. The person who trains in silence, who studies when others sleep, who chooses discipline over distraction, that's the person who wins. But most people stop too soon. They look for instant results, and when they don't see them, they give up. They forget that the soil doesn't show you what it's doing, but that doesn't mean the seed isn't growing. Growth happens long before it's visible. So don't lose faith because your effort isn't being recognized yet. The real recognition is coming. The work you do in private will speak for you when the time is right. Life rewards the patient, the persistent, and the prepared. You're not working for the applause. You're working for alignment. You're aligning your habits with your dreams, your actions with your goals, and your persistence with your purpose. Keep watering your seed, even when it feels like nothing's happening. Keep showing up, even when nobody's watching. Because there's a moment coming, a divine moment, when everything you've been doing in silence will explode into visibility. When that moment comes, you'll realize the waiting wasn't wasted, it was necessary. The world will see the glory, but you'll know the story. The story of consistency, sacrifice, and faith when no one believed in you but you. That's the power of private persistence. What you do when nobody's watching becomes the foundation of what everyone will one day celebrate. Most people give up not because they lack talent, but because they lose patience in the middle of the process. They want results faster than growth allows. They want recognition before they've built the resilience to handle it. But growth doesn't operate on your timeline. It operates on your consistency. You can't rush maturity. You can't microwave greatness. You've got to bake it through time, effort, and persistence. The invisible process is where the transformation happens, where the dreamer becomes the door, and the believer becomes the achiever. There's a hidden stage between your seed time and your harvest time. That stage is the test of your endurance. It's where you learn to trust the process when progress isn't visible. It's when you're showing up day after day, giving your all, and still seeing little to no results. That's where most people quit. But that's exactly where you need to double down. Because consistency isn't about what you do when it's working. It's about what you do when it's not. That's when your faith is measured. That's when your commitment is proven. You see, greatness requires a quiet kind of strength, the kind that refuses to be discouraged by delay. You've got to learn how to work with unseen results. You have to keep watering your dream, even when the soil looks dry. The seed doesn't sprout because of one drop of water. It grows because you kept watering when you couldn't see what was happening underneath. That's how growth works. It's silent, it's gradual, but it's guaranteed when you stay consistent. Too many people mistake delay for denial. Just because your dream hasn't shown up yet doesn't mean it's not on its way. You're being shaped, strengthened, and stretched so you can handle the blessing when it arrives. Because success without preparation is a setup for failure. The invisible grind is the training ground for visible success. So stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, how can I keep becoming the person who deserves it when it does? Every day you stay consistent, you're building momentum. Every day you show up, you're proving to life that you mean business. You may not see change immediately, but you're shifting your direction. And small shifts over time create massive results. The problem is, most people quit on the 5th lap when the finish line was on the 6th. Don't let that be you. Keep running. Keep believing. Keep grinding. Because the process is working even when you can't see it. So trust your journey even when it's quiet. The universe is aligning things in your favor. The timing, the connections, the opportunities, they're all being arranged behind the scenes. But your consistency is what keeps you eligible for that blessing. Don't let impatience rob you of the reward. Keep showing up even when it's hard, because your persistence is what turns invisible effort into visible success. You don't need to announce every move you make. You don't have to broadcast every step of your journey. Let your consistency make the noise. Let your progress speak for itself, because real winners aren't busy talking about what they're going to do. They're busy doing it. The loudest person in the room usually isn't the most powerful. The most powerful person is the one who doesn't need validation to keep moving. Some people talk about their goals so much that they trick their minds into thinking they've already achieved them. They get high on the idea instead of the action. But you can't just talk success into existence. You've got to build it brick by brick in silence. While others are chasing attention, you should be chasing improvement. While they're focused on being noticed, you're focused on being ready. Because the truth is, people may doubt your silence, but they'll never be able to deny your results. There's something powerful about being the one who doesn't need to post every grind, every win, every move. You're not working for likes, you're working for legacy. You're not performing for the crowd, you're preparing for your calling. Every hour you spend building when no one's watching is an hour your competition spends talking. When they're bragging, you're building. When they're sleeping, you're sowing. When they're celebrating prematurely, you're sharpening your edge quietly. And one day, one powerful day, the world will wake up to see what you've been building in silence. They'll ask, where did that come from? And you'll smile, because you'll know it came from all those nights you kept going when no one believed in you. You didn't need their approval, you had your assignment. Remember, noise fades, but results echo forever. The person who stays consistent in silence will always outlast the one who shouts in inconsistency. Because noise can get you noticed, but consistency will keep you respected. Your silence doesn't mean weakness, it means focus. You're not missing out by staying quiet. You're leveling up while they're getting distracted. So let your results do the talking. Let your progress make the announcement. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Your growth will do that for you. Just stay faithful, stay disciplined, and stay consistent. Because when the time comes, your quiet grind will make the loudest statement of all. You didn't need the spotlight to become unstoppable. There comes a moment in your journey when you have to learn to walk alone. Not because people are bad, but because destiny often requires solitude. The path to greatness is not a crowded highway, it's a narrow road. And on that road, you'll lose people who can't handle your pace, your growth, or your hunger. But hear me clearly, their absence is not your loss, it's your preparation. Because where you're going, not everyone can go. You see, when you're building something extraordinary, distractions will disguise themselves as company. Some people only love you at your level. They can't stand to see you rise. Others will cheer for your potential, but they'll vanish when your discipline exposes their comfort. That's why you've got to get comfortable with being misunderstood. Because consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't always come with applause. It doesn't always attract attention, but it builds power. When you choose to stay consistent, you separate yourself from the crowd. You stop blending in and start standing out. That's when people start to notice. But before they admire you, they'll doubt you. Before they support you, they'll question you. Before they follow you, they'll criticize you. And you've got to learn to keep going through that noise. Because consistency is not about validation. It's about conviction. It's about saying, even if no one believes in me right now, I'll still show up. I'll still grind. I'll still grow. You have to protect your purpose from the opinions of people who don't understand your vision. Don't explain your calling to those who were never meant to hear it. Let your commitment confuse them. Let your discipline disturb them. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will be the ones quoting you. The same ones who left you will be the ones asking how you did it. But you'll know, it wasn't luck. It wasn't talent. It was consistency when no one was watching. So keep building in silence. Keep walking your path even when it feels lonely. The right people will find you in the right season. You don't need a crowd to be called. You just need commitment to be chosen. Growth may require isolation, but that isolation is where your foundation becomes unshakable. You're not alone. You're being refined. Every quiet night, every moment of doubt, every lonely step, it's shaping you into someone unstoppable. Because the truth is, solitude doesn't mean emptiness. It means alignment. When you walk alone, you begin to hear your inner voice more clearly. You stop chasing noise and start following direction. You begin to realize that what you're building in the dark is preparing you for a light so bright, it would have blinded you had it come too soon. So don't resent the lonely seasons. Embrace them. Because one day, when your results speak for themselves, you'll look back and thank God for every moment of silence. You'll understand that being alone didn't break you, it built you. We live in a world obsessed with quick results and instant validation. But the truth is, nothing lasting is built overnight. The greatest oak tree starts as a seed buried in the dirt, unseen for months, maybe years. But it's growing, developing roots so deep that no storm can uproot it. That's what consistency does for you. It builds your roots before it shows your fruits. When you're consistent in the invisible, you're creating strength that can't be shaken by visibility. Everyone wants the platform, but few want the process. Everyone wants the spotlight, but few want the discipline. But it's your daily habits, your small commitments, your silent repetitions that make you unstoppable. You can't post discipline, you've got to live it. You have to understand that the quiet grind is where champions are made. The weightlifter doesn't become strong on stage, he becomes strong in the gym when no one's clapping. The speaker doesn't find his voice on the microphone, he finds it in empty rooms practicing words that no one hears. The artist doesn't create magic under lights, he creates it when he's alone, when the world sleeps. And it's just him and his passion. That's the beauty of consistency. It doesn't need attention, it needs intention. And when you stay consistent long enough, the world can't ignore you. It's not because you shouted the loudest, it's because your work spoke the clearest. People respect results, not noise. They might overlook you for a season, but they can't deny your excellence forever. Your time will come. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. You've got to fall in love with the unseen effort, because every day you stay disciplined, you're making a deposit into your destiny. It may not pay off immediately, but it's accumulating interest. Every early morning, every late night, every time you say no to distraction, that's an investment. And one day, that investment will pay off in ways that will leave people speechless. So stop chasing shortcuts. Stop begging for recognition. Focus on mastery. Focus on improvement. Focus on becoming so consistent that even your bad days outwork most people's good ones. The dream doesn't belong to the talented, it belongs to the relentless. And when your season comes, when the world finally sees what you've been building all along, it'll be undeniable. Not because you told them you were great, but because your consistency proved it. So stay in the fight. Keep working when it's quiet. Keep growing when no one notices. Because one day they'll see the results. And they'll realize you didn't just hope for success, you worked for it when no one was watching. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this, consistency is the quiet engine of greatness. The world may not see your struggle, it may not applaud your process, but it will one day respect your results. Every long night, every unseen effort, every moment you wanted to quit but didn't. That's your proof of purpose. Success doesn't shout, it whispers to those who are willing to keep showing up when the crowd disappears. You don't need to announce your grind. Let your growth do the talking. Let your results become your roar. Because one day, the same people who questioned your path will quote your perseverance. They'll wonder how you made it, and you'll smile. Because you'll know, you didn't skip steps, you stayed consistent. The truth is, destiny doesn't respond to noise, it responds to discipline. You don't have to chase validation when you're committed to your evolution. Keep working in silence, keep building in the dark, keep believing when no one else does. Because when your time comes, and it will come, the world won't be able to ignore what consistency has created. So keep your head down, your spirit high, and your vision clear. Don't be distracted by who's watching. Be driven by who you're becoming. Because real success doesn't need a spotlight. It becomes the light. Keep planting, keep watering, and when the harvest comes, it'll speak for itself. Stay consistent, stay focused, and stay faithful. Because the results that come from quiet persistence will always echo louder than the noise of doubt.